Unit 7334. I'm a rival at the back of the mall, and I think the security guard we're talking about is here. Go find out what's going on. Hello, sir. How you doing? Man, I gotta tell you, it is a hot one today, ain't it?
Oh, yeah.
Good grief. So,
You're too late. Mother took little punk home.
they're already gone?
Yeah.
Man, where'd they go? They took off running?
No. The punk's mom came to pick him up, and
Okay. I'm sorry, what's your name?
Robert
Robert. What's your last name?
Garcia.
Garcia. Mr. Garcia, how's it going? So tell me about this punk that you were talking about.
I'm the security guard here for the mall, and I was making my rounds, and I saw these, 3 punk kids just hanging out in the parking lot, wearing hoodies, and I mean, look how hot it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. You think you'd be wearing a hoodie if it was this hot and you're outside and you're up to no good?
No, but you know what? From what I understand, the young kids, the reason that they wear the hoodies a lot, because when they go to school, the AC in their schools is so cold that they wear the hoodies all the time, and they become acclimated to wearing the hoodies.
You know who else wears hoodies? Criminals.
Ah.
It covers them from the cameras.
That is true. That is true.
So, I walked up to them and I said, hey, you guys, you can't be here. Move along. Just go away.
Okay.
All right? It's private property. You have no business being here.
Okay.
And they started laughing at me and calling me names. And I was like, hey, listen, show some respect. All right? I work for a living. I'm not here, just harassing people on the street. And they wouldn't move, and I was like, they kept calling me, hey, go away, Red Cup, F you, Red Cup, this, that. And I was like, all right, I said, so, I went up to him, and I just grabbed him by the shoulder, and I started
the punk that you were talking about earlier, you grabbed him by the shoulder, okay.
By the shoulder, and he started to resist, and that's when, my training mind came over, and I had to, take control of the situation.
You had to take care of business.
Yeah.
Take care of business. Okay. I'm curious, sir. What type of training did you receive?
I went to a 2-week course in security training.
Okay, 2-week course in security. All right. And they taught you how to deal with, for lack of a better term, hostile individuals.
Yeah, they taught me how to how to take control of the situation and to get on top of it right away and not let it escalate.
Okay. All right. Okay. So once you grabbed him, what happened next?
He started to resist, and that's when I put him in the chokehold and took him down to the ground. I put my knee on his back and then just kind of he was still resisting.
So you gave him a little extra to calm him down.
Yeah.
Yes.
These kids. These kids need to learn respect.
Yeah.
All it is.
And then he called you Rent-A-Cop. Yeah. How'd that make you feel when he called you that? Because I would imagine, I'm not in your position, but I would have been offended.
Listen, one of these days I'm going to be an actual cop.
Yeah. Have you applied with any departments?
A few times.
A few? How many is a few?
3.
3? Okay. Same department?
No, different departments.
Oh.
I keep trying different cities, hoping that with one of them.
So So which part aren't you passing? Like, is it the physical, the psychological?
Yeah.
The psychological?
They keep saying it's the psychological.
Maybe it's an opinion thing,
I mean, this is why we're losing this society today, because everyone's soft, everyone's afraid to get sued.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to get their hands dirty anymore.
Yeah.
But
and you definitely got your hands dirty with this punk, right?
Listen, when I was a kid, my parents, if I got out of line, they weren't afraid to hit, get the chancleta, the sandal.
Yeah, the chancleta, those things are legendary, yeah.
And, these kids nowadays, these parents are soft with their kids. They let them do whatever they want, and that's why you got this happening.
Okay. All right. So what happened to the kid after you detained him?
I had him detained. I radioed for backup, for help. You know, my supervisor came out. He was yelling and screaming, and he's like, "Get off him! What are you doing? We don't do that here." And I was like, hey, listen, I'm taking care of things for you. Like I'm on the front lines. I'm the one, you know, that has to deal with these punks that are looking to rob every store in here and harass these hardworking people. I'm the one here doing it. And you know, you're sitting in an air-conditioned office. Look.
And you're out here in the sun dealing
now
with.
I'm dealing with these punk kids who want to call me rent-a-cop, who don't want to listen to authority. You know, look, it's a security. I have a job to do, and I did my job.
And they disrespected you.
And they disrespected me, so I held them down. You know, and I might have got a little carried away.
You gave them a little something extra.
I gave them a little extra, you know,
okay,
just to let them, you know, something.
Did you and you have the report that you wrote, right? The report.
Not yet.
But this happened over an hour ago, sir.
Yeah, I know. I just, you know, I just needed time to kind of gather my thoughts.
Okay.
You know,
all right. Because the kid, his mom is the one that actually called us and told us what happened, and that you punched the kid in the face repeatedly. Is that a little something extra you were talking about?
He was resisting.
Okay.
I needed.
And he was being disrespectful.
Yeah, but he was, you know, I needed to get on top of the situation, and you know, and he needed.
You did. You got on top of his back. Yeah, you did.
Yeah,
you did.
He needed to learn.
He needed to learn.
Those kids need to learn.
Okay. Well, see, here's the problem. That kid had to be taken to the hospital because apparently, from what I understand, he has a fracture in one of his facial bones. I think like his cheekbone or something like that, or maybe even his nose. I'm not too sure, but he does have an injury that requires medical attention. Did you? I got that. Did you call for medical attention for this kid?
No, I mean, he seemed fine. You know, the supervisor grabbed him and took him back to the office.
All right. Did you or your supervisor decide to call the police after this happened?
I don't know what to do.
Okay. Because I'm going to go with they didn't call because we don't have a call at this location. The only call that we have is from this child's mother, who said that you beat up her son, and he's now in the hospital receiving medical attention over a fracture in his face bone. But like you said, he was being disrespectful.
Well, you know what? If he had just left when I told him to leave,
yeah,
maybe he'd be at home right now playing PlayStation or something. I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah.
Okay. Well, I tell you what. I have a feeling that kid isn't going to see you anymore.
Oh, I'm sure he won't.
No, I have a feeling he won't be seeing you.
Yeah.
Because you're under arrest. Turn around.
Wait, why? What, for doing? Why? I was doing what I was trained to do. Right? See, this is why the streets are the way they are today. Right? Because the good guys like me get put in cuffs while those stupid rat kids get let loose and they get to sue and get whatever the hell they want.
Well, the funny thing is, my partner's inside talking to your supervisor, and according to him, you did not do what you guys were trained to do. As a matter of fact, according to your supervisor, he had to tell you to get off that kid repeatedly, and you kept punching him. Sound familiar?
Yeah. No, I mean...
Hold on. You won't be needing this. Definitely won't be needing this.
Look, I'm on your side, okay? I want to be a cop just like you.
Yeah, I understand. Okay. Watch yourself. I know. It's painful. Yeah, okay.
This is bullshit.
All right.
Ow.
That was easy.